Hi, everyone. This is Mr. Marcos Vargas. I'm the librarian here at George Wagner Middle School. I'm here to present to you a program that the library is looking to host throughout the next school year entitled You're the Author. This will be a program in which students will be writing their own graphic novels. The purpose of You're the Author abbreviations YTA. It is a program allowing students to create their own graphic novel. Objectives for YTA include students will be able to utilize the librarian, and its resources to be prepared in writing a graphic novel. Students will complete the writing of a graphic novel. Students will be able to publish their own graphic novel. And lastly, students will be able to present their own graphic novel. So the program, the way it's going to work, it will run for 10 months, so a regular school year starting in August, ending in May. Students will meet at the library after school once a week for each month. The day of the week will depend on the students selected and their availability, majority ruling. Students will develop their stories for the first 2 months. So out of those 10 months, students will come to the library and we will be getting the backbone of their story down. We will be getting what the basic storyline is, creating storyboards on paper. After that, students will develop their stories over the next 7 months, designing them on iPads, using iPads the library already has, and using Apple Pencils with a program which we will later discuss. The last month, we will be publishing our books, having them sent to a company to be printed, and we will be hosting a public event in which students will share their stories to the community and speak on their journey in creating the book. The audience this program is targeting is intended for all students at our school. This program will have a limit of 20 students due to programming costs for creating the graphic novel. Students will be admitted into the program by teacher recommendation, so everyone is willing to apply. Students will be able to share interest. They will pick up a teacher recommendation form in which they will come to the library with the teacher recommendation form. A committee of teachers will come together from all grade levels, 6th, 7th, and 8th, and decide which 20 students we feel will be benefited the most from this program. Budget. The total budget the program is asking for is $1,800. The prime cost of this budget is coming from the Adobe Photoshop app, which we will be using on our iPads. The app costs $10 a month, and we will be getting 20 iPads. So over the course of 7 months, that equal a total of $1,400. Printing the books through Lulu, a company, they have quoted $20 per book to be printed. Total 20 books to be printed will be $400. If students would like to print an additional one, that will be at cost to them and their families for an additional $20 on their behalf. From the library, we are only seeking $1,400 for Adobe Shop, $1,400, so $1,800 in total. The benefits of the program. So first I'm going to speak on the graphic novels on behalf of graphic novels. So graphic novels are the leading way for students to engage into literacy. Combining graphics with the story of a great novel, students have been rushing to the library to read a graphic novel. Students build reading skills by reading the text on the pages. On top of this, students will be working on their visual literacy skills. Seeing as graphic novels aren't a traditional comic, students are tasked with the ability to read and see the pictures with the author's intention. Now, the reason I wanted to bring graphic novels is because in our current library, graphic novels are one of the most heavily circulated books. And I wanted students to be represented. I wanted students to be heard. And what better way besides purchasing other books from other authors on perhaps similar stories, why not share their books because they're within our community? Also, With this program, students will be able to create their own graphic novel, like I said. They will be able to help other students be engaged in their stories and take pride in being a published author from our school. Students will be working on story development, artistic abilities, and combining both to create a graphic novel. There has been research used to support graphic novels. Bender in 2008 states that research using middle school students showed that students were using 6 themes when engaging in graphic novels as opposed to traditional novels. Those themes included 3 textual themes, which we can see in traditional novels, but with the addition of 3 visual themes. The textual themes were reading strategies, literacy devices, and metacognition. The visual themes were modes, compositions, and conventions. Moeller in 2018 states that in a research conducted and accounted 57 graphic novels surveyed, 76% had characters of color. Now, I wanted to include this article because it's important that our students see color, see culture, see and read different voices, and it's important that a more higher percentage of graphic novels in our school are of that. And what better way to do that than in our students creating their own graphic novels? And lastly, Wallner and Erickson in 2020 research shows that students were taught compositional features and they were asked to create their and then were asked to create their own. Student motivation and interest held out throughout the period. Student motivation, once they saw their creation coming to life, were motivated and held interest throughout the period. How are we going to measure the impact of this program? Well, monthly there will be a check-in with students. They will have to complete a certain amount of their book per month. Students will be accounted for being on top of their monthly requirement in order to finish within the year. As the year is progressing, students will be learning through different methods of videos with authors on how to create graphic novels, how to find your voice, the power that these books have in amplifying voice, and the impact that their stories can have on the community. Students will later be interviewed by a committee of teachers on their journey. Such questions will include what they learned, how they grew throughout the process, how they would advocate for literacy now as a published author, and what they enjoyed the most. Lastly, student impact will be measured by their contribution to an open community night in which they will share about their book after reading it. Thank you so much for your time. If you have any questions, I will be here afterwards. Thank you so much.